That means life.
Hi guys, Jonathan here.
Chocolate.
Welcome back. Our cameraman has chocolate and needs a smooching. We are teaching the pendulum class right now, so thank you so much for joining us. I've got Jonathan with me and Taralynn, Taralynn is a beloved part of our tribe and agreed to be our guinea pig. So we get to teach her. We are at the Quirky Lotus today in our kitchen.
Our nook,
Our
kitchen
hangout
nook,
spot.
our bay window, whatever you want to call it.
A bay window, like with a book.
Yes.
I love those.
Yes.
Bay window with a pendulum
Yes.
today. So I'm using my friend Amanda's art, which is displayed all around the QL and ready for sale. I'm using this as my pendulum mat. So for me, I don't use a pendulum mat anymore because my guides know what way to run to show me what they're talking about. But when you do it, you can choose to spend a ton of money, you can choose to spend a little money, or you can spend no money. If you have a piece of paper hanging around, you can make your own pendulum mat. So here's what we're doing.
DIY all the way.
I'm always going to give you the free option if at all possible. So,
I'll show
regular
you.
white sheet
Okay,
paper
okay. Give me that. There you go.
and a couple of pens.
He stole my page.
He stole your
It
page.
had art on it.
I know.
Alright,
I felt like you wanted do you want the marker or you want the pen?
I'm good. I got a marker.
alright.
Sweet.
I'm putting this stuff
That's actually
away.
one of my kiddos' markers, so you can tell I have my kids around sometimes.
So,
Free markers.
let's identify a few things.
Okay.
What's a pendulum mat? Anybody know?
I actually bought one of the expensive ones.
Yeah.
And it's got like all these different letters on it, and it has a yes and a no and a...
And it feels so good. Did you get the leather kind?
Actually, no, this one was made out of resin. It was one I got at a fair.
Ooh,
That's
fancy.
fancy.
Yeah, it's pretty
My
cool.
fancy one it's leather and the paint is gold leaf.
Ooh.
So I just love the way it looks. I like the way it feels. When I'm reading for other people, it makes it easier. It makes it easier to have them see something so that they can follow along, right?
That makes sense.
I can tell you all day long that my guides know north and south is a solid yes, and that's understandable for you. But if I'm reading for you, you're not going to have the depth of knowledge to know. Oh, wait, it's going north and south. That for Angie, that means yes, or east to west, which generally means fuck off or nah, I'm not doing that. Remember to give it time.
Why would it go east? Does it ever go west to east or south to north? Or does that mean something entirely different?
It doesn't mean anything, but it means that.
There are questions that are going to be asked because I would ask this. I'm like, it's going the opposite way.
So for me, what my magic looks like is my guides like to talk and they like to be heard. Then when I told you that every one of you has the ability to use a tool, all of you can use the same tools, but like doctors, right? Some doctors are going to be more skilled at lungs and some doctors are going to be more skilled at what the fuck is that thing on my foot?
It's a bunion.
I don't know what's a bunion, but different doctors use different tools. A general surgeon is going to use a scalpel, and a kid's doctor is going to use a thermometer more often. For me, the divination method that works best for me is pendulums. So that being said, this is a pendulum. This is a fancy pendulum sold at the Quirky Lotus, and this one has a resin base with a whole bunch of stones, different chakra colored stones in it, and here I believe it is $15. That's an expensive option. There are more expensive pendulums, don't get me wrong, but for me that's expensive, right?
That's expensive for me. That's very expensive for me.
This is an $8 option. A black kyanite pendulum. It's very simple. It just has a bead on the end to kind of hold your hand in. And you always want to brace your elbow and hold it as loosely as possible, making sure you're not moving, right? As long as you're not moving, it allows the slightest of energy to move it in directional answers. It works really well with yes, no questions, but this is really a training tool that your guides use to talk to you, right? So, we're gonna call this a pendulum map today. And this would be an expensive option. This is painting number 53, and I have no idea how much it costs.
But it's pretty.
But
I
it's
like the pretty.
beautiful.
I like the pretty.
It's just stunning. And they've got paper, which
Paper,
is
paper,
like
paper.
a tenth of a cent. And a regular old writing pen, which is like
I have a marker.
11 cents and maybe $1. So here's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
I need you to write a line. Ready?
Write a line.
North to south.
Okay.
At each end of that line, I want you to write yes.
Yes.
Now I need an east to west line. It doesn't matter if you go west to east or south to north.
Okay, thank you, because that was going to bother me, because
I
I
know
it's not.
I know, but for that part, we're just talking about this kind of line and this kind of line.
So this is no.
So that's no. You'll have what looks like a plus symbol. I like that you're using the marker. Can I use yours?
Yep.
Right here, right now we're at this, right? Northeast to southwest, I want you to make a line.
I was like, what direction
And
is
because
northeast?
I'm a jerk and my guides speak fuck, I want you to write fuck off.
Big. Ooh.
My guides kind of sound like Gordon Ramsay sometimes.
Both sides, huh?
That is your fuck off line. Now,
Mine's all kind
do
of
a
curvy.
line opposite. So you have what looks like an asterisk, and write,
Is that fuck yeah?
we're gonna do ask later.
Okay. Ask later. Close enough. Ask later.
Perfect. So here's how it looks now. Ready? This is just to give you a visual reminder while you need it, what your guides are saying. So, your boards are done, guys.
Awesome.
No, so pin down.
Pen down. Test passed.
Okay, pass the test. Woo woo.
Pick up something off the table to use as a pendulum. Pick the fancy one, pick the cheap one, pick the options that I know everyone has. Everybody's got a necklace, right? Just a regular old necklace. And I hooked something to the bottom of the necklace. Here's another necklace that they had. This one is clear quartz and it goes for $24.99. And because I'm fancy, I'm using the fancy option.
Bounce.
I just unhook the necklace so that the charm goes to the bottom, and I'm gonna hold it real loosely, balance my elbow, and say, let's orient. Ready?
Let's orient.
Let's orient.
So, for your guides, you need to define for them what is a yes answer and what does that look like. So for us, yes is going to look like north to south. And then you ask, can you show me what yes looks like?
Can you show me what yes
Can you
looks
show
like?
me what yes looks like?
Is that clear enough for either of you?
It's going up and down.
What's yours doing? Nothing.
What I always do. So here's a fun little fact about me. I have yet to be able to make a pendulum work for me. So this is going to be an interesting one for me.
So, remember what I said about that lung doctor?
Watch this.
Every single buddy can do pendulums. Some tools are easier to use for you, and some tools are a little bit of work. So, now, tell them again. Yes looks like north to south.
Yes looks like north to south.
It's moving, but barely.
So, is this a fuck off moment?
Pretty much. That's a fuck off moment. It's moving, but very minusculely. So, That brings us to why Jonathan's teaching oracle cards.
Should I go back to teaching oracle cards?
The answer was a very clear yes. You can zoom in, rewind about 20 seconds, and you can see that that was a very clear yes. So, now that you've defined what yes looks like, show them what no looks like. Hey, east to west is a no. And give them time. It takes time to move a body in motion. That's a scientific law. Forces in motion stay in motion, but it takes time to change direction, so be patient. If it starts running in circles, for me, that means my guides are ready for me to ask the question. They're like impatient and excited.
That's what it's doing. It's like really ready.
It's like ready. All right, so that being said, I'm kind of a jerk, so I always ask a bullshit question. Is an elephant purple? And I wait for the answer.
Is an elephant purple?
It's working.
Oh, that's cool. I'm just gonna
See.
watch.
Okay,
I'm just gonna watch.
I'm definitely getting to know.
that's awesome. All right, ask a true-false question.
My mind blanked. It said ask later. It just
Do you
went like
have-
this.
How many, do you have feet?
Do I have feet?
Body in motion stays in motion, be
It's
patient.
changing.
Do I have feet? Can you show them what it looks like?
I'm getting a yes.
All right, so we've determined that there is sentience on the other side of this necklace with a string.
I do have feet.
She has
All right.
feet.
So the questions can get as deep as you want or as shallow as you want, and I suggest that you practice as much as you should. When I say you should, that means do not forego sleep, do not forego food. Your pendulum and your guides will always be there. It's super fun to play with, it's super fun to get involved with, but use logic, guys. Your guides are always going to push you towards your highest good, but you have to remember that who's the boss of what happens with your magic? You are.
Because you are a sovereign, divine being.
It's true.
That's it for our class, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Be sure to ask any questions you have, and we're looking at our 2-hour Q&A session next weekend.
Yep. See, look, I'm telling you, it's still not. Look, just so you're aware, when I say I cannot do certain things, I quite literally mean I cannot do certain things.
It's moving. It's just infinitesimal. That means that's not the right tool for you.
See, not every tool is going to work for every person, and it's okay. I promise.
Try all the tools.
Try all the tools. Try all the tools.
Don't spend $1 billion.
Although be
but
safe
all
when
the
you try
tools.
certain tools.
Hey, we're not advocating like dangerous stuff.
Yeah. No.
Thanks for joining. Have a great day, guys.
Bye, y'all.
Thanks for being here.
Thank
Tim.
you.
Appreciate
Okay,
you.
thank you.
So, are you going to pendulum it up?
I think that was fun. I like
Sentience
pendulums.
on the other end of a pendulum. I like it.
Bring on
I do my
to
pendulums
the
different.
other side.